What's good, y'all? Back again, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, another Michael Jordan video for you guys. His underrated years as a Washington Wizard. Yeah, man, he's about old, done, you could say. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that like and sub button for your boy. Yeah, man, highly appreciate, highly grateful for it. So let's get started. MJ, underrated years. Rest in peace, Cole. Ugh, still sucks. Still can't believe it. Dang. Shout out Johnny Arnett.
The words Michael Jordan and underrated may seem like ludicrous to have in the same sentence. After all, he is one of the biggest icons in sports history and is recognized by most as the NBA's greatest player of all time. But when it comes to MJ's days with the Wizards, there is no
How old was
question
MJ
in my mind that those years are
with the
vastly
Wizards?
underrated, and I believe
I
by
don't
the end
know.
of this video,
I
you'll
know.
be
I think
convinced
it was
of it
like
too.
he was old.
When we take a
I
look
don't know
at
how
Michael
old he
Jordan's
was with
career
the
as a
Wizards.
Chicago Bull, you'll see a resume of winning, excellence, and dominance.
I don't think
He was
those teams were
consistently
that
the
good.
best
If I'm
player in
correct,
the
I
league
don't think.
just about every year he
I mean,
played,
the only
and he
person I
was
know
the
is I
best
think he
player
played
on
like
both
Kwame
sides of
Brown
the
and like
ball.
Like
Just
Rip
about
Hamilton.
every time he set
But I
foot
don't know
on
how
the
good
court.
those teams were.
This is the ridiculously high standards that Michael had set for himself and that we as the fans had become
Dang,
accustomed
buddy,
to seeing.
going crazy.
The Michael Jordan we knew in Chicago was always winning either MVPs, championships,
Or
or scoring
finals.
titles.
Let me turn it up for y'all.
And this is exactly why so many people either underrate or have forgotten completely just how remarkable Jordan's stint was as a Washington Wizard.
Dang.
So what exactly are all the different reasons why people choose to overlook these seasons? Well, for one, as I just mentioned, the bar was set absurdly high by his Chicago Day standards.
What a
Number
move that
two,
is.
some believed his return tarnished the
Get off
perfect
from
ending
Byron
of his
Russell.
career in Chicago.
Iconic.
And number three, the
Iconic.
bitter ending of Jordan's relationship with the Washington Wizards organization. After Jordan retired as a player from the Wizards, Jordan assumed that he would be able to return to his front office position as director of basketball operations with the Wizards.
Dang.
Unfortunately, that was not the case. Soon after Jordan's retirement as a Wizards player, Washington's Wizards owner Abe Pollin fired Jordan as the team's president of basketball operations. Jordan's previous tenure with the Wizards front office had produced mixed results.
Damn, it wasn't
Many of
fucking with
Jordan's
Mike.
decisions as an executive did
It wasn't
not pan
fucking with
out,
Mike.
including his decision to draft Kwame Brown straight out of high school, who ended up being a bust and was traded
God, how
just
bad
4
was
seasons
he?
after Jordan had drafted
Hey,
him.
y'all put in the comment
Jordan
section who
later
was the
stated
worst
that he
number one
felt
pick ever.
betrayed, and that if
I got
he had
Anthony
known
Bennett.
that he would be fired upon
I got
retirement as
Anthony
a
Bennett as the
player,
worst
he
number
would
one
have never
pick.
come back
Put
to
it
play
in
for
the
the
comment
Wizards in the
section.
first place. Regardless,
Y'all worst number
Jordan
one pick
had
overall
returned to
ever.
play 2 years
In,
for the
in,
Wizards.
in the
And
NBA.
despite the fact that those 2 seasons failed to live up to his glory days in Chicago, and despite the fact that those 2 seasons ended in a bitter firing, those seasons were still utterly remarkable.
That's a
And
tough
in my
shot.
opinion, they are 2 of the most underrated
Over Sean Marion, that's
seasons
a tough
in NBA
shot.
history. So at this point, sit back and enjoy as I break down the astonishing details about Jordan's underrated years with the Wizards. When Jordan had retired from the Bulls at the end of the 1998 NBA season, Jordan claimed he was 99.9% sure he would never play in the NBA again. As we all know, that 0.1% chance prevailed, and Jordan returned to the game he
Ooh,
loved.
good spin move.
Jordan's passion for the game was seen
Oh,
immediately
I was thinking we
upon
were just
his
gonna see
return,
Wizard highlights.
as he announced that all of his earnings from these upcoming seasons with Washington, he would be donating to disaster relief funds for the 9/11
That's
attacks
hard.
in New York.
That's hard.
After being completely
That's
apart
hard.
from
Hey,
competitive
that boy Rip.
basketball for
That's
3
hard
full
though.
seasons,
Much respect.
Jordan was returning as a 38-year-old who was trying to get back into
38.
basketball
So he's like
shape.
38, 39,
The
40
comeback
with the
had
Wizards.
plenty of physical
Jeez.
obstacles as well. Jordan was heading into his return dealing with tendonitis in his wrist and in both of his knees. During a pickup game that offseason, Ron Artest had broke 2 of Jordan's ribs while playing physical defense on him.
Damn, Ron Artest.
Jordan would also go on to have fluid drained from his knees multiple times throughout that year. Michael Jordan was joining a Wizards team who had finished the
shit.
previous season with the 3rd worst record in the entire NBA at 19 and
Straight
63,
ass. Straight
despite the
ass.
fact that they were playing in a much weaker Eastern Conference. They also had the 2nd worst defense in the league in terms
Damn,
of
who's part of
opponents'
Eastern
points
Conference
per
in
game.
those years?
They weren't just a lottery team. The Wizards were coming off of their worst
Trying to
season
see. He
in
was playing. I
franchise
know Brooklyn. I mean,
history.
not Brooklyn. The
The
Nets.
deck was stacked against him, and Jordan and the Wizards' 0-1-0-2 season got off to a slow start
Wasn't it
at
Celtics? I think
2-9.
with like young Paul
But they
Pierce.
began to figure things out and went on a 9-game winning streak to improve the record to 14 and
The
12.
Pacers.
Just 2 games later,
Shit, who was
Jordan
good?
had his worst performance of his return, shooting 2 for 10 from the field, finishing with only 6 points, and losing by 27
Toronto,
points to the
Vince
Indiana
Carter and them.
Pacers. Jordan was ice cold that entire game, and due to that, Michael's coach Doug Collins played Jordan in a reduced role, finishing the performance with only
Didn't he coach?
25 minutes
Didn't
played.
Doug Collins coach Michael in
Jordan's
Chicago too?
6-point game
I think.
meant that his
I think he
all-time
did coach
great
him in
streak of
Chicago.
866 games with at least 10 points had come to an end. This poor performance and reduced minutes led Jordan to question his coach's faith in his abilities.
You know, that bus is lonely as a coach when you're sitting there after you've got your head handed to you. So I was sitting on the bus, and actually Michael had hired me. He was the part owner and president GM, hired me to be the coach, and then he came back to play. I'll never forget this moment ever as a coach. That this to me was greatness. He got on the bus and he said, "Scoot over." And he looked at me and he said, "Do you think I can still play?" And I said, "Absolutely. That's why I'm here, to be here to help you." He said, "You know, to be my coach, you have to believe in me and believe I can still play." And I said, "Michael, I believe in you." We play the New Jersey Nets the next night. And Michael scores the first 3 times he has the ball.
Okay.
Byron Scott takes a timeout, and Michael comes over and says, "I want the ball right there the rest of the game, and don't take me out till I tell you."
Damn.
And so that's fine by me. So with 2 minutes to go in the game, he gives me the sign like, "That's enough."
Michael's basically a
I
king.
take him out of the game.
Do what I say.
He walks over to the bench. I said, "Michael,
do what I say.
what happened
Now.
tonight?" He said, "Well, the guy who was guarding me told me his back was hurting. Don't ever tell me you got a problem." He said, I'll make you pay for that." 51 points later. 51 points at age 41. He came back the next game with 46. And he looked at me and he said, "I told you I could still play."
Jordan
Man,
responded
97
in
in
the
2
following
games.
game the way a champion responds. He proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that
think,
he could still
if
play
my
in
math
this
is right.
league. Jordan was torching the Charlotte Hornets, playing like a man possessed. He scored 51 points on 55% shooting, adding 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Jordan continued his dominance into the following game, scoring an efficient 45 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists
51
on an
plus
extremely
45.
talented New Jersey Nets team that went on to the
51.
NBA Finals that season.
96.
With these remarkable performances, Jordan became the
Yeah,
only
96
player
points
in
in 2
NBA
games.
history to score 50 points in a game in 3 different decades.
Jeez.
No other player in NBA history has even
Look at this
done
laughing
40
window.
points in a game in 3 different decades. Less than
Imagine
a
my
month later,
somebody 41
he
years
had
old give
another
you buckets. Like
back-to-back
40 years
40-point
old give you
games,
buckets.
including
Give you
a
50.
game-winning buzzer beater over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Wizards started the
Yeah.
season with a 27-21 record.
Okay,
and on
Mike.
his 47th game, Jordan collided with a teammate and tore his meniscus.
Damn.
He tried to play through the pain and on reduced minutes, but after another 14 games, he had arthroscopic knee surgery to repair the knee, and his season was over. Before Jordan's injury occurred,
Damn.
Jordan was averaging 25.1 points per game, 6.2 assists, 5.3 rebounds,
That's
and
still
1.5
straight.
steals
That's
per game.
solid.
It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see a
I like
healthy Jordan make it
39,
through the
40.
season.
That's straight.
Because the
That's
reality
25 a
was,
game.
He was getting better as the season progressed and as he got back into basketball shape. In his last
Still
20
got that little
games
midi.
leading up to his injury, Jordan was averaging 27.5 points per game,
Michael's
6.4
going
assists,
crazy.
5.2 rebounds, and
But that
1.3
injury after
steals per
Mobley.
game on 44% shooting.
Mike was
In his
going
last
crazy.
10 games leading up to the injury, Jordan was averaging
Damn near 30.
29.7 points,
So he's kept getting hotter and
6.6
hotter.
assists, 6.1 rebounds,
Look at Sean Marion
1.2
laughing with
steals
him.
on
Can't guard me.
47%
Pull up.
shooting.
Yeah.
Also, before Jordan's injury,
Laughing with
the
your
Wizards
ass.
were on a
Fuck off me.
47-win pace and were well in the playoff hunt. Up to that point,
Look at that
no
move.
team
Double
in
clutch.
NBA history had ever been a sub-20 win team and gone on to have a winning record the following season. Jordan had the Wizards well on their way, up until the meniscus happened.
Damn.
Something else to consider is that
Who
the
is that?
Wizards' second option, Richard Hamilton, missed 5 weeks of their 26-21 stretch due to Hamilton's groin injury. After Hamilton healed and returned to the floor, The Wizards went on a remarkable 15-1 streak while they had both Jordan and Hamilton healthy on the
Damn, they
floor.
were going
When
crazy.
you add
They
all of
was
this
going
up,
crazy.
you begin to realize that not only did Jordan
Get off
take
me,
one of
double
the
zero. That's
worst
the worst
teams
number
in
in
the
the
league
league
and make
ever.
them competitive,
If a number is
but had
double
it not been
zero,
for his knee injury,
ugh.
the Wizards
I
would have
don't
had a
know any good
legitimate
players
shot
who are
at the
double
first
zero.
seed in the Eastern Conference. Not only was MJ getting better offensively as the season went on, but his defensive impact was getting better as well. Remember how the 2001 Wizards had the second worst
Look at
defense
this
in the
man wearing
league
a
in
suit.
terms of opponents' points per game?
Then Juwan
Jordan
Howard.
was the Wizards' only significant addition to their 2002 season, and at the time the knee injury had occurred, he had improved the Wizards to the sixth best defense in opponents' points per game, allowing only 92.2 points. In Jordan's last 35
Zebo.
games leading up to the injury, the Wizards were allowing only 90 points per game.
He got
on
them boys
pace to
playing
have them ranked
defense.
third overall defensively in the entire NBA. In the 15-1 stretch that Jordan and Hamilton were both actually healthy and on the floor together,
Them
the
boys were
Wizards were
walking
allowing
down
just
their opponents.
86.3
They were
points
playing
per game,
defense.
which was by far the best defense in the entire league. The Miami Heat finished as the number one defense that
I
season,
figured.
allowing a higher
Alonzo Mourning, yeah, I
88.7
figured.
points per game. If Jordan and Hamilton had been able to remain healthy for the duration of the 2002 season, they may have finished with the best defense in the entire NBA. Again, with Jordan being the only major addition, the Wizards went from the second worst defense in the league to one of the best the NBA
Whoa,
had to
what a
offer.
block that is.
That's the effect
Yo, what a
a
block that
38-year-old
is.
Michael Jordan
That
had
boy
on a
Sky.
lottery team. After Jordan's knee injury and eventually the termination of his season, the Wizards absolutely imploded, winning only 11 of their next 35 games.
Damn.
After Jordan's injury, the Wizards allowed an average of 96.8 points per game, which would rank them in the bottom half of the league at 19.
That's crazy.
With
96
Jordan
is
being the
bottom
only
half.
significant
Now
addition
people
to the
score
Wizards
100
roster between the
damn near
0-1-0-2
like through like
season,
on like the end of
the
the third
Wizards
quarter
roster improved
easily.
16 wins. Outside of Jordan, the 2002 Wizards' only additions were 5 bench players, who each played few minutes. Tyronn Lue played 20 minutes per game. Rookie Kwame Brown played 14.
Antoine
Rookie
Walker.
Brendan Haywood played 13. Rookie Eton Thomas played 13. And rookie Bobby Simmons played 11.
Who the fuck is that?
Again, the addition of Jordan was the only significant addition, and the team was transformed defensively and won almost twice
Bobby
as many
Simmons.
games as the year before. Jordan was still dealing with injuries heading into the following season, and because of this, Jordan started the first 15 games of the 2002-2003 season coming off of the bench. In his second season in Washington, Jordan was the only Wizard to play all 82 games, and he was 40 years old.
That's impressive.
He also became the only
That's
40-year-old
impressive.
in NBA history to score over 40 points in a game,
Hella
which he
impressive.
did several times
4
that
years old,
season.
and you play all
He
82.
also became the oldest player in NBA history to average at least 20 points per game. Despite the best efforts of a 40-year-old legend, the Wizards still fell short of the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Tough.
So let's take a look at some of Jordan's numbers with the Wizards in comparison to last year's numbers from some of today's modern NBA stars. As you can see, in many of these cases, Jordan's numbers were just as good, if not better, than
Yeah,
a
Paul
lot of
George,
today's
DeRozan.
modern NBA stars.
Toronto.
Also consider the fact that we're
Kemba
comparing
Walker.
the numbers of an injury-laden 40-year-old player to
John
young,
Wall.
healthy players in the
That was
prime
before
of
his
their
injury,
careers.
I'm
When you
assuming.
look at it that way, you
Carmelo.
begin to realize just how impressive Jordan's
with
Wizards
OKC.
seasons actually were. Now let's take a moment to compare
Yeah, he
Jordan's
was-
seasons to other legends when they
He
played
was
as a 38
his
or
numbers were
39-year-old.
impressive compared
As
to
you
like
can
people who
see,
were in their primes,
These
like
numbers aren't even
Paul
close
George,
to Jordan's level
Kemba,
of production at the
DeRozan.
same age. Jordan was just on another level
23
completely,
per game.
performing at a level that the league had never seen before or
Crazy.
since at that age. So now that we've just thoroughly examined Jordan's production and how he impacted one of the worst teams in the NBA by joining them, let's pause for a moment to consider what may have happened if he spent those comeback years on an actual contender instead of a lottery team. If he had played for a contender, he likely would have been able to preserve his health and minutes for the playoffs.
Get off me, Gary
What if he
Payton.
had joined his old running mate Scottie Pippen on a loaded and contending Blazers team? What if he returned to Phil
But that
Jackson
Blazers team was good.
to play
That Dallas
alongside
Strength,
Shaq
Scottie
and
Pippen,
Kobe on the
Sabonis,
dynamic Lakers? Are we
Stoudemire.
potentially looking at an even greater 8-0 finals record for Michael Jordan? I know many people these days, especially the younger crowd, like to discredit Jordan's legacy because of the perceived lack of athletic competition Jordan had during the 1980s and
So
90s relative to today's
if you go 6-0
basketball.
in the finals, is still
But before
impressive as
you
hell.
jump on that
6
bandwagon,
finals
I want you to
MVPs, no
consider
game
this.
7s, that's still
In the
impressive.
early 2000s, Jordan was, in terms of impact and statistically, one of the best players in the NBA as a 38 to 40-year-old, and he did all of that production while being way past his prime athletically, dealing with numerous injuries, all while being guarded by greats like Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady, night in and night out, who were all
I
in
forgot
their
about
early
the Magic team,
20s.
T-Mac.
Does that sound like athletic competition to you? Does that sound
Hey,
like a prime Jordan
Peter
would have been the
roll.
best regardless of the era you place him in?
Damn.
That is certainly
Sit
what
your
it
ass
sounds
down.
like to me.
I didn't know he was going off like that with the Wizards, man. Had no idea he was going off like that with the Wizards. Had no idea. That boy, Mike was still going crazy. Hey, he was still going crazy with the Wizards. But yeah, man. Don't forget to like and sub. Comment down below. You got thoughts, reactions of what y'all trying to see, man. And I'll see you guys later.